How is it going, YouTube? Malagant here. So we'll be talking about experience a little bit. I've been like practicing leveling up in Diablo 4, the early level section. I'll talk about like various different things actually in this video, and for the most part, it's going to be somewhat like a Malacast one more time. So a short one though. Um, right off the bat, let's talk about like the world tiers. This was a little bit surprising to me, in fact, because like I thought, just thinking to myself from the beginning as I started Diablo 4, in my Twitch chat when like this question was popping up, would you rather like play in normal difficulty, the adventure difficulty, or like the veteran while leveling a new character? Like most of the time, everybody almost, including myself, would say something like adventure tier 1 should be like better because, you don't really, you're not necessarily looking for like a challenge right off the bat, and this 20% experience increase probably doesn't necessarily make it up for the challenge. So you're like slowing down, and you're probably getting like less experience overall because of like how slower you are. But yeah, with the recent leveling practices that I've been doing, in short, actually, like you do want to be in veteran mode. What I mean by saying that like you do want to be in there is that like you still want to be going as fast as possible. So you will want to have like a strong character, and you kind of need to like optimize this on the go. But if you can manage, right, theoretically, then you're basically going to be getting 20% increased damage. It's pretty important to like understand how these increased damage values are working also in this game. We can also talk about it a little bit. So right off the bat, it's kind of like additive to each other, because like there are different various different like sources of increased experience that you can gain in this game, right? Like 5% from per player that's like in the vicinity, and then 5% for the elixir buff that you have, and then you obviously have the world tiers right over here, and then there's also another experience increase for fighting monsters that are like higher level than you, but it caps out at 3 levels. So like if you're level 20 and you kind of want to be fighting level 23, there's no point fighting 24, because it would end up giving the same level as a 23 would, even though it is more challenging. So all these things are getting additively combined. So like 20% from there, 5% from there, maybe 15 from the other. All of those are combined, making up to be a multiplicative 40% for your character to gain more experience from killing monsters. So it's kind of important to like understand that while you're leveling faster. That is very, very important. So especially in the early on, as you can imagine, you don't necessarily have all these things. So for instance, if you're solo, you don't really have like the extra from the party. If you're like fresh account, let's say, you don't really use the elixir immediately, probably around like level 8, 10, something like that, you start using them. And then maybe if you're solo also, you kind of want to be resetting dungeons perhaps, then you will want to relog. Every time you relog, you're losing a potion. So for a fresh account, this is not so friendly, let's say. So perhaps like you're just never minding the elixirs. And on top of everything, you can play on veteran. Quite possibly the 20% becomes like more and more valuable as you're missing the other sources. So you do want this 20%, and then you do want the 3 levels above rule to be almost always there. These are like the important things that you want to be taking care of. So like for instance in Grim Dawn, when you were like asking, or when somebody was like asking to me, normal mode or like veteran mode, how do you play from the start, I was always saying normal mode, because like you're not really looking for the challenge, you just want to like go. And then in the elite difficulty, like around after level 50 or whatever, when you finish the campaign the first time and you're going for a replay, in the elite difficulty there was no veteran anyways. So like the challenge was there for you starting from elite, or maybe the ultimate, depending on the character or the pilot. So there is no point playing on the veteran so much. The experience increase wasn't necessarily like making or keeping up with the speed that you could otherwise go in the normal difficulty. But then with the practice that I have, I cannot clearly say that like for every single character at any certain level you will want to be in tier 2. Unfortunately, there's no clear answer. That's also why I'm talking like this for a very long time about this. Is all I can say is you want to be in veteran. So how do you pull that off? You basically need a So for instance, like a fresh Diablo 4 account won't be able to pull that off. My answer to like a new player that's going to be opening a character for the first time is just gonna have to be like you're gonna have to be in adventure mode if you want to like level fast. Otherwise, the challenging content will inevitably slow you down big time. But when you finish the campaign for the first time and collect all the Lilith statues, which I'm assuming most of the people that are watching this video is at that point, for now at least, it is then you're capable of like creating a new character even into a fresh season that is going to be having a very, very strong start, because like we will have some renown where we will be able to collect from the map right off the bat from level 1, which is going to like boost our not only gold but also experience. So I'm assuming in town while we're sitting, since like we have some renown completion, we'll be able to just like level up just passively. And on top of that, we obviously have like the skill points. The entire map is going to be open, you know, the waypoints are going to be out there. So thanks to all of these things, we have so much more in our arsenal, and our character is going to be crazy stronger with like 9 skill points available from level 1 or whatever, versus, you know, a level 1 a fresh account would have had. So thanks to that, you're capable of at the very least getting to like, let's say level 10 without, you know, any hassle. You 100% want to be playing on veteran in that case until like at the very least level 10. Now it depends on the character or the build from that moment. You're gonna want to have like a good weapon. You're gonna want to have a build probably planned before, so that like you kind of know, you know, the peak points of these builds. Because like for instance for the sorcerer I can talk. You know, I was playing with like chain lightning up until that point where like I started switching into blizzard, where I was, you know, the chain lightning wasn't necessarily so important anymore. So those like peak points and boosting them with like a good weapon, obviously it depends on like the legendary aspect that you're gonna end up finding as well, or you're gonna end up committing into. All these things getting combined, like you want to be staying ahead and you want to be able to face roll the content, let's say it that way. And if you can keep this up, then you can be in the veteran because your speed is not suffering. Otherwise, in these like leveling videos, you're gonna actually end up seeing me swapping back to adventure mode just because I feel like I'm slowing down. It's going to be, I suppose, like maybe a, you know, just a feeling. I feel like I'm slowing down. I suppose like it's maybe the content is feeling too hard or my character is feeling too weak. Sometimes you will definitely see me playing in the adventure mode. That's the feeling that I have right now between, you know, tier 1 and tier 2 when it comes to like which one is better, you know, at leveling, or which one you should be playing your alt set. So that's going to be my approach for the most part right now, unless Blizzard changes something and the difficulty stays somewhat about the same, the difficulty difference, let's say. So most of the time it will come down to, you know, again, I'll start in veteran, I'll boost my character to like level 10ish, and then afterwards, if I am capable of face rolling, I will stay in veteran as long as I can. The second that I feel like, okay, it's getting a little bit challenging, actually, I'm taking a while to kill these elites, then I'm gonna, you know, no shame, I'll drop it down to adventure until I feel strong again, or perhaps until the capstone dungeon even. So that's going to be my approach, and that will probably cut that. There is also another thing that I found over here. Yesterday, Dry Bear, actually, he's also a content creator, as both Twitch and YouTube, if you'd like to check him out, right over here. He actually posted this incredible, you know, spreadsheet sort of, that is showing you basically like solo experience score, you know, the scoring that he has done by himself, and group experience score over here as well. It's, in my opinion, like ridiculously good source. So I'm going to be checking this one out as well. Obviously this is for season 0 without the patch that's going to be coming later today. So season 1 patch is going to be in fact later today, you know, after I made this video. So maybe some things are going to be changing a little bit, but I don't necessarily expect it to be drastically changing, let's say, right? So that said, I will look into these things. So, but keep this in mind, right? Like right off the bat, you cannot really go into Sarat's Lair. You will not only will have to like, you know, go to it, but at the same time, you will want to be at the very least level 17-ish, because otherwise the content is going to be much more difficult for you than it should have been for optimal reasons. So, but you could like go to Caliban's Mine, for instance, or maybe Lost Archives is a good place to go to. The same thing can be said for like Stronghold of Temple of Rot for like level 35. I suppose this place is unbelievably good for a solo character. I haven't tried this yet, actually. Like one of my friends did mention the Temple of Rot to me on my Discord, and I haven't gone there yet because it's not only, you know, high level. I didn't really like start covering these levels when it comes to like my leveling videos. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Like when I get here, I'm going to be checking Temple of Rot as well, definitely. So yeah, you need to like find lower things over here, which is not only that, but also like reachable. That's another thing that is like incredibly important, right? So mole wood is like something that I have been running on my leveling paths the past week, and seeing that like it is 180 score compared to like 280 of a Sarath layer, makes some questions in my mind for sure. So and the speed of Molewood is pretty slow as well, it seems like. So we'll see. Maybe there's like quite a bit of room to improve. So in the upcoming days, later today, I'm going to be, you know, covering the patch on my channel, and then later I will start leveling Druid, Necromancer, Barbarian, and Rogue as well, and I'll be putting 1 to 20 videos for every single one of those before the season launch. That's going to be my my basically like content schedule coming up on YouTube before the season. During the season, I think I'm going to be uploading quite a bit of like VODs if I can stop listening to, you know, copyrighted music on my stream. Then I will be uploading a lot of like VODs from my seasonal journey. I still didn't really decide which character I'm going to be playing in season, but I can tell you that it might just be Whirlwind again. I don't know. It feels amazing to like use the Whirlwind in Blizzard game, in Diablo 4. I don't know. It's really fun to play the Whirlwind. So like, unless there is some like crazy meta shakeup, which I do expect it to have, the patch notes that is, I am probably going to be playing a Barbarian. We'll see, because like I really enjoy playing this thing. Thank you very much for watching, YouTube. Let me know what your character is going to be in season, if you have decided yet. I mean, it's kind of stupid to ask right now. I guess like we can talk about this in the video that's going to be coming later today after seeing the patch notes as well. That's probably going to be a little bit easier to ask now that like everybody sees the patch notes and decides from there. Peace out, guys. Thank you for watching.